Today is October 10th, 2021, and welcome to the Federation Frontline Report, a new podcast about EVE Online with a focus on faction warfare. I'm your host, Frozen Fallout, and my co-host is Samson.
Good morning, New Eden.
And today we will be talking about the Fall of A Gos and the retaking of Fayette by the Gallente. So we're going to kind of start this off. We had a planned interview that didn't end up working out, so it's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode today, probably, depending, you never know what kind of happens on these shows. But yeah, so we're going to start off with the Fall of A Gos. So I guess congratulations kind of goes out to the Caldari for being able to take the entire war zone. The battle for A Gos has been quite a long struggle that has been happening for over a week now, where that was the last system to fall to the Caldari. So for a short period of time, the Caldari were able to hold the entire 100 faction warfare systems that that the Gallente and Caldari are currently fighting over. So first off, to those that are wondering, what happens when you take the entire war zone? Is the war over? Is that the end? Is faction warfare done for Gallente and Caldari? Well, no. And if you know the history, this has happened for both sides multiple times. It is a pendulum swing that kind of happens. And there have been medals that have been given out for taking an entire war zone. It's not necessary. I don't believe it is every single time that it's happened, but it has happened in the past, and it's possible maybe that it is every single time that it has swung 100% in one faction's direction.
Now, when you're talking about medals, you're talking about medals from the NPC Corporation for faction warfare?
Kind of like a global medal that it's not assigned by the, it's like being part of an alliance that was part of the alliance tournament. You get this special medal for that.
Yeah, it's not from your corp or your alliance, like
Right, it's from CCP kind of
CCP,
thing.
yes.
And it usually has to do with either it can be like an alliance function that the alliance didn't hand it out to you, just the CCP, because you were part of that alliance, you got a medal. And this kind of works in the same regard. If you're a faction, if you're a member of that faction, then you will get a medal for that. And it's not happened 100%, but it has happened from my understanding. I have one for sure, so I was definitely part of the first, I believe it was the first ever complete war zone control by the Gallente, and we were the first one. If I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me proper, the war zone was the very first time that a war zone was taken completely over by one faction. It was the Gallente during the beginning of faction warfare.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
There's a chance.
So we can take this back.
Oh yeah. Oh, the pendulum's gonna swing. I guarantee that eventually the faction, or the Gallente faction, will retake the entire that war zone in the future, and that we will eventually lose it all again.
It will be taken back with the God Emperor King himself, Joe Bane, at the helm.
Right. And it might swing back and forth a little, for the Caldari might be able to recapture it multiple times here, depending on what kind of happens moving forward, because we have another thing to report, which is that Fayette has just fallen today. As you can see,
breaking news.
Let me just pull that up here. If we go to stable Fayette, you can see here, move that over a little bit, there we go, now you can see it right here. Fayette is lost, there's nothing the Caldari can do about it at this point.
Gals and mills.
At downtime, we are gonna have Fleet back underneath our control. And so we look forward to the good fights that are going to be happening in Fleet moving forward. I'm sure a lot of eyes are going to be back on Fleet as that's going to be tried to be retaken by the Keldari. Um, it's an interesting time period because of if you have only one system that you own, the entirety of the Keldari want to go and plex there because offensive plexes are better than defensive plexes. So it causes this like no matter what time zone, there's always going to be somebody trying an enemy faction trying to plex in your system. Um,
So that makes it a hot spot, a hotbed for PvP then, in general. I mean, granted, first of all, this last stream, that was the first like pretty good size faction warfare battle that I got in when we were in a goes.
mhm.
Because we were part not of right when it fell yesterday, but we were fighting in a goes, and we had a really fun battle there actually. Um,
Yeah, there's lots of good fights, and that's one of the things that I kind of like to focus in on as a corporate leader is in faction warfare is instead of the whether we're controlling the solar systems or what trying to maintain complete and utter supremacy is to just go around and try and get into good fights using these flashpoints that occur throughout faction warfare space as an easy know that okay, if I go here, I'm going to get some kind of PvP, whether it's getting my ass handed to me or being able to pick off people here or there, just completely dominating the war field and smaller fleets are getting beat up by us. No matter what the thing is, there's always some kind of activity in these hotbed zones. Um, there's hotbed zones that exist all the time, like Tama. Um, so, for instance, that's going to be a place that we'll always be taking a look at. Notorious is always the gem of Black Rise, so you should always go there and try and get in PvP. Because we'll always talk about
yeah, I'll
Notorious.
I'll be there to
Um,
shoot at you.
and
Come to the
somebody
chorus.
did mention one time to, or asked whether we were going to be like the replacement for Notorious News. And I don't think we'll ever be a replacement
No.
for Notorious News, but we are inspired by, and I hope to see Notorious News come back someday. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, I think that we will be taking that torch and looking at Notorious a lot. And my kind of thing is if you want to get on the news, go to Notorious. So I think
Mhm.
moving forward, we're going to kind of do a little segment on Notorious towards the end of our podcast. We're not going to do a full thing. I think this time we're just going to do another just quick dive into it. But I think we will take a look at a lot of like what's the activity over the last week of and who's the top killers and who's the um, who's using what ships and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool statistics, and Notorious I think will always be a underneath a magnifying glass by the Notorious or by the Federation Frontline Report. All right, so the next thing that we're going to kind of jump into here is kill mails. So let's go ahead and take a look at a goes. So we're talking about the end of a goes going down. What kind of happened there? So Samson's going to bring up the kill board here. So let's kind of just go to the top here real quick and just kind of go over the stats here. So active PvP last 7 days, there was 518 characters that were on kill mails or in some way, shape, or form being killed or
Yeah,
killing. Um,
or
200.
killing.
What's that?
Being killed or killing.
Yeah, yep. And so we've got 223 corporations that participated in over 80 exactly 80 alliances according to Zkill. 178 ships, so 178 different ship types were used in a goes. I believe that is correct. If it's
Yeah,
Is there
because total kills says
170 different?
844.
Right,
So
total kills is 844. Is there 178 different types of ships in Eve? Like
I
that seems like
that's an interesting. There's a
that
lot, man. Like
there are a
there's still
lot.
ships that I keep finding ones because you got to remember like the special, not just the special edition ones, but the award ones, like the silver magnate, that kind of random bullshit, or the Tiamat, right? Ships that I never even heard of until I started like digging into random kill mails and shit. So I mean that's a good question.
I'm gonna have to dig
Is that
into
the
that
stat?
and find out what that stat exactly means.
Unless the rest were pods and they don't count pods.
That's it,
But they do.
I mean, there's 844 kills. I can't.
Yeah,
In
so
any
that's
case, the top killers that we have here, we're not going to dig deep into the names here and stuff, but looks like the top killers have like 121 kills, 113 kills, 74 kills, 57 kills, 54 kills. So there's lots of death and
yes,
destruction over the last 7 days. And it looks like it's kind of calmed down recently. So like October 10th,
just
we only
now.
have a few deaths, like 4 deaths. If you can you scroll down just a little bit here, let's take a look. So like October 9th, you can see it's just scrolling worth of kills here. So we've got uh, not an entire page full, but a decent amount. Um, so that's around like 20, 25, 30 kills. And that's even after. So let's take a look at the 8th. How many kills do we got on the 8th here? We got
So it goes down to the bottom and then it's to the next page.
and I believe this is when a lot of fighting happened. So yeah, we got
Yeah,
an
and it's a lot of the same corpse and stuff going on right now. And we're still on. Let's go to the next page. Yeah.
Does this
Yes.
display, is it 50 kills or 100 kills?
That's
I'd say
something I
that's
didn't
probably
look up
about,
yet.
that'd be about 50 kills. It would be my guess. But yeah, we should
Still
do some better reporting on that and find out
still
exactly
going.
how much is on a page here. But I believe it's around 50. So we got like five
Yeah,
pages.
this feels like Tama. This is Tama level fighting higher than. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So about 5 pages worth, give or take. So 250 kills in one day. Starting from it's pretty much every like 15 minutes or
Yeah,
less.
it's just someone's
There's
going
just
down
like
every few
people
minutes.
dying every every chance you get. So let's take a look at some of the top kills though, and see what we've got here.
See, the top kill is a Deimos. Apocrypt. Apocrypt.
So we've got this 946 million is Deimos.
Yeah,
We've
almost a
got
billion.
he's got is that a bunch of faction and Dead Space fittings. We've got your standard micro warp drive point, um, dual fit for its afterburner micro warp drive. That's always a nice kind of setup where you can, still get around a little bit even if you get scrammed.
Cool prop.
How big is that afterburner? Is that just a regular size afterburner? I'm guessing so. But
10 men.
10 yeah, so regular size. And you got your standard dual tank armor tank.
Yep. Dual.
This is just set to try and tank as best as possible. Neutron blasters. Still pumping out some pretty decent damage, but it looks like we had a bunch of caracals and a bunch of let's see here, we got 3 caracals
And this is a Vorton projector, sir.
oh yeah, so somebody was using one of those fancy.
I think it was a Thunderchild, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't quite show what the ship was that it was exactly using that type, unfortunately.
I could figure it out though.
Looks like
I'm
that
not
somebody
close.
died though. So let's go into related and just
Yeah, a bunch of people.
take a look at what we've got here for a battle report. So it's generating this here, and so we've got on one side we have Aderon Robotics, we've got Darkhaven, Deep Space Combat, Deepwater Hooligans, Disaster Strikes, Federation Defense Force, Free Range, Slow Children at Play, Slice, and Toxic Shockwave.
And on the other side, Covenant, they're a big one. Caldari scum that we see a lot. Ishukrata Enforcement Directive, Marine Division. That's Caldari State, right? That's their main one.
Mm-hmm.
Mercury Arms, Mikrum Juk, Molting Rage, State Protectorate, also Caldari.
Yeah, the State
and
Protectorate.
State Public
is the
Defenders.
NPC.
Yeah, Caldari and Veterans Lounge.
And actually, pretty solid matchup here with losses. On the Gallente side, we have 19 ship kills, 83 points lost, and 1.3, almost 1.4 billion ISK at 39.8% efficiency. But the Caldari also took a pretty big hit. We've got 14 ship losses there, 43 points lost, 913 million ISK lost with a 60.2% efficiency. So overall, looks like there was quite a bit of fighting that was happening here. Oh, there it is. That's the Sky Stormbringer. Yeah, we've got, is that an eagle at the top there? Or is that a
MOA.
MOA. So we got a MOA, 4 caracals. This, what was it called? Skybreaker?
No, it's Stormbringer.
Stormbringer. A Vedmak, Cormorant, Kiki, Bantam. Okay, so they had some
lots of Kestrels.
Yeah,
some Condors.
Lots. How many Kestrels is that? 1 Kiki and 2, 4, 6,
7 Kestrels.
Yeah, and then a Condor, Breacher.
Bunch of Hookbills. Looks like another 7 or 8. 8 Hookbills.
Now, one of the things that could be happening here is with the generation of the battle report, because what happens in faction warfare is you might be fighting over the medium, so you might be in caracals for a little bit, and then you'll jump down into hookbills because now you're fighting inside of a novice, and then you might be fighting inside of a medium. Because I believe I see a lot of the repeat of names here.
Yeah, in this case right here with this pilot, she was the one that had the Stormbringer, then later in a Vedmak, and then later in a Kiki. So she's the big spender. And she lost the Kiki and the Stormbringer. Whew. But on the other side, on this side, we got Osprey Navy, the Deimos that started it all, the Vexor, Cormorant, Algos, Bantams, 4 Kestrels.
Also, thank you so much for the raid, Folomir? I am so bad at names. But yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you all for joining us. So we're talking about the Fall of A Gos here. We're looking over one of the big battle reports here. So sorry, continue.
Yes, then a couple scattered Condors, Hawk, Hookbill, Rifter, 2 Griffins, Enyo Hecate, 2 Atrons, a Merlin, a few Fed Navy Comets, and a bunch of pods, question marks. Because these guys were all, after they died, were involved in like the kills over here.
Yep.
We're over here.
Yep, so sometimes it records you as not unknown. I know you were here and you did some damage. I don't know what the hell you really were in though.
I know
Um,
what you're flying.
we do have a question from the audience, which is, has Fleet 2.0 happened yet? And
Vietnam 2.0 is happening soon, right?
it is happening right now.
It's
So
happening right now as we speak.
as
So
we
join
speak,
in.
they have lost. Ooh, what's this battle report here? They have lost Fleet. Keldari are no longer in control of all of our space here. The faction warfare zone between fighting between the Keldari and Gallente. The Keldari, as of today, or as of downtime tomorrow, it will be 99 systems owned by the Keldari, one system owned by the Gallente. And so Fleet is back in our name, and we're going to continue to create a hell zone for them to try and fight in over in Fleet. Um, we did have a link to a battle report. Do you want to go ahead and bring up that battle report that was linked for us?
This is Fleet from 2 hours ago, ended 2 hours ago. So this is what's going on right now. Woo! What's going on here?
Thank you so much, Hemshell, for the link. Always
Is there?
on the news
Okay, here it is up
reporting.
here.
This is beautiful. This is exactly what we want to see.
So on this side here we have 372 million ISK lost, 93.5% efficiency, 19 ships lost, inflicted damage 930k, and on Team B we have 5.34 bill with an efficiency of 6.5%, 67 ships lost, 75k inflicted damage. This is interesting, the amount of damage difference, but I think it has a lot to do with what's going on here. What is going on? Okay, so you can highlight these to show the corpse. So this is Caldari. This side is Caldari. I think we have a
Right. Yeah.
squid in our chat.
Left side is Keldari, and team A is Keldari. Team B is
So
Gallente.
I think now I understand what's going on in the chat. Taking the system, Raven, cost the Gallente 5 bill, but we took the system.
Right.
This
So
is the losses for the battle.
this sounds like this is likely to be around the fighting that's happening in Fleet.
Yeah, the fighting happening in Fleet.
No.
So, whew, man, that's a lot.
So this would be the fighting around the iHub. Sorry about that, my puppy.
The iHub. Oh, okay. Is it
got
iHub?
very, very mad at a
Co-pilot.
Co-pilot. Yes, Army.
She's gonna be huge in a couple months.
There's no such thing as cost when it comes to killing squids. That's right, man. You just gotta throw fucking ships and continue to just blow shit up, man. It feels so good. It feels so good. Once the iHub cleared by our forces, Aderon warped in a carbon copy of the exact same fleet.
What was the fleet? Like the Drex or the...
Well, then drop the Revenant. Ooh.
A Revenant.
Close range Drakes, it looks like. Let's see.
Well, it must be a different report then. Because there's no Drakes here. Oh, Drex. Sorry. Yeah, all these Drex right here. These guys.
Oh, Drex. That's right. Nobody uses Drakes.
No, you said Drakes, and I was like,
did say Drakes.
I don't see. I wasn't looking at the screen with the chat on it. I was looking at the screen with the battle report on it.
Drakenbacks are such great ships. The remote repping, the ability to just dub on so much DPS. Yeah, congratulations to Aderon for retaking the system. You know, heavy cost, but in the end, well worth it.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's take a look at Tama and just see what the system of scum and villainy has been up to recently. Let's take a look at one of the bigger, squishier kills here. That looks like a Royquil was murdered in Tama. So we can take a look at that a little bit more. What's going on there?
Looks like Snuff. Snuff took out this Oracle, which is mind game. Suddenly spaceships, mind games.
So how much was that worth here? Let's go through the stats on this.
10 billion.
So yeah, 10 billion overall, 2.7 billion is dropped. 51
Destroyed.
parties involved. Looks like a bunch of battleships with some dread support carrier.
These are revelations.
Yep, those are dreads.
Yeah, oh, you said dread. I didn't hear you just say dreads.
Yep, 2 dreads, a carrier, another carrier, a battleship snuffed out.
Bunch of legions.
Legions.
A lot of legions. Jesus. Ooh, Absolution Command. Baelgorn. Guardians of the Reps. And it looks like a bunch of smaller stuff.
No, Aderon does not equal Norm's guys, as far as I understand. I believe Norm's guys are FDU, a lot of them, at least. I know Norm is FDU, I believe. But Aderon is a slightly different, still Gallente faction, but Aderon is its own player-owned corporation run by Askaraki. Go to related on that and see if there's anything special that's related. Ooh, see, this is something.
That's
something
a lot
here.
I can't even see both of them on the screen at the same time. Okay, here we go. 46 ships lost, 212 points, 6.3 billion lost, 74% efficiency. On the other side, 63 ships lost, points lost 121. ISK lost 18.9 billion. These are the guys that must have lost. Yeah, the Rocal was right at the top, 25%. Oh, it's a bunch of orcas.
So yeah, it looks like it's mainly snuffed out versus suddenly spaceships, Pyglavian outlaws. I don't even know. I've heard of
Pandemics, one pandemic.
Yeah, one pandemic horde, a goon
Random goon.
Random.
Oh, there it is. Shadow Cartel.
Okay, Okay, so this is a snuffed out versus Shadow Cartel primarily. It looks like there's some mixing of some other smaller corporations. Because yeah, even a bunch of pirate lords of war.
Wow, those guys are fun.
Now this might be mixing up a bunch of small PvP shit that's happening.
Yeah, it looks like it might. But the stuff up at the top definitely looks related. These big ships versus all this stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I would say that the looks like there's a super carrier, some dreads, a Fortizar that's involved.
There's a Fortizar.
So maybe this was dropping one of the a Royquil that was trying to be on Fortizar
maybe,
or something like that. That's
maybe they may.
Like freeported the Fortizar and had a suddenly spaceship Royquil that got caught with a bunch of. I'm just wondering where are these orcas coming from? Like there's 3 orcas here. A
Maybe
Roy
they're
Tool. I mean, were they mining maybe on a near a Fortizar? Or maybe the
Tam.
Fortizar got on there in a different way.
No,
Just
the Oracles are, or no, the Oracles, the Orcas were at Stargate Nurvikaiken.
oh wow, okay. So that the Fortizar wouldn't be involved in that.
Oh, you know what? Look, yeah, the Fortizar and the Dreads are not involved on this. This is that Legion fleet,
Yeah.
mostly Legion fleet
Let's take
with
a look at
one.
one of the Shadow Cartel deaths. I just want to make sure that that is actually related here, truthfully.
Oh yeah, these. Oh no, that was on a Stargate too. Oh, okay, yeah, the Shadow Cartel stuff was all against that Legion fleet. Yeah. So it's two separate. It's snuffed in both cases, but it's like two separate battles going on. All that stuff, like the Orcas and the Kikis, the Shadow Cartel Kikis, were happening at Nurvikaiken Gate. Yeah. So it's sort of like two separate battles, kind of. I
Yeah, so
think.
yeah, that happens where they
And
get
this
smashed
seems
together
like
on the report.
gate camping, maybe. But yeah, the Oracle went down. Oh no, wait, the Oracle was also at the Stargate. What the heck was this Fortizar involved in then? Wait, hold on. Stargate. Yeah, it's right there, 17 kilometers.
Hmm,
Huh.
interesting. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to Notoris and see what kind of cool stuff has been going on there. So Notoris, over the last
Notoras.
7 days, we've got 64 characters who've been fighting in there, 34 corporations, 13 alliances, 45 ships, 73 kills. Um, Diana Kim at the top of the kill charts for the last
It's
7 days.
shameful, but I haven't been on, dude. Fuck. Gwen's not at the top of the kill board right now. I'm about to drink my sorrows away.
So let's see, any interesting kills that we've got here. We got the top of Diana Kiki. Let's take a look at
So
Diana's Kiki.
Diana's Kiki caught here by the Golden Age empires at the G Age. We had Final Blow, Varen Shepherd, who's actually just Fed Navy, but Silande, our buddy, top damage. Adam, also average. They're all average pirates, average pilots. And Jorian, all involved on this Kiki kill here. However, you can see Adam is a capsule in this case, and I don't even have to go to related to tell you that this is from the same battle. But we will go to related because this is a fun little skirmish that was going on with average pilots hanging out in Notoras. Some sneaky Shadow Cartel in there. But let's look at the report here. 3 ships lost by Team A, which is GH. Points lost 20, ISK lost 266 mil, efficiency 63%. Team B, which is the Squids, Kaldaris, Diana Kim. It's probably all Diana. All these characters are Diana Kim. Let's face it. And ships lost 11, points lost 32, ISK lost 469 million at 36.3% efficiency. It's a nice little fleet going on. Yeah, Mika and Diana really like their Kikis. So I'm glad to see that there's 2 of those lost here. Because their Kikis annoy the shit out of me. We're not biased at all on this news station.
No way,
Um,
man. We're
there's no
we're fair
there's
and
no
balanced.
bias here.
Yeah.
All hail Lord Emperor Joe Bane. Um, and who was in a Vedmac during all this fun. A Vedmac, and what he did, he lost a wolf. Oh, don't say that out loud. Oh, I didn't mean to click on it. Yeah, it was both Mika and Diana in their kikis. See, I told you, I hate those kikis.
Yep. All right. So, I think we will kind of wrap this up a little bit early tonight, and kind of just go, into saying that, congratulations, Keldari, for holding the war zone for like a day. And
Second, it was just a couple of minutes, guys.
So we look forward to the fights that will be coming up. Thank you so
Yeah.
much all for watching. If you're interested in joining up for the war effort, go ahead and put an application into Golden Age Stories. Alts and Spies, welcome. I hope that this gave you a little bit of insight into some of the stuff that's going on in faction warfare today. And if you're interested in keeping up with the news, you can always check out our podcast at the Federation Frontline Report. You can find that on YouTube or at any of the podcasting platforms that exist out there, like Spotify or iTunes. And we also are doing this live every Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Time, which is 2200 blah blah. I'm sorry.
22,000.
2200 Eve time. So 5 p.m. Central on Twitch every week on Sunday. And if you have news for us that you want us to talk about on the show, definitely send us an email. You can send that to Frozen Fallout in-game, or you can send that to the Federation. The email address is federationfrontlinereport@gmail.com. So you can definitely hit us up with anything that you want to be on the news, anything that you want to express out there. I know that our Mimitar allies just want to make sure that everybody knows that the war zone over there is just as beautiful. There's tons of fighting that's happening over there, and to look forward to all the great things that are going to be happening with Eve as things continue. So thank you so much, and have a great night.
Peace out.